Greetings. It's been a while, and I'm hoping to get this one started again and maybe do some more updates. So today I am going to look at the U.S. Coast Guard Fast Response Cutter Kit by, Dumas. Now, this thing is geared for radio control. This is a fairly brand new kit, and I mean like fresh off the presses, not even like probably 6 to 10 months ago. So without further ado, I'll take a few shots on the thing. So obviously, if you're going to make this radio control, you need all the radio control accoutrement and kit details. Total size on this thing is going to be pretty decent, and I like the fact it's done in 1/48 scale. That's kind of a new and unique thing. It's a standard modeling scale with easily found accessories in 1/48 scale, so pretty cool. All right, without further ado, made in the USA, obviously. So here's what's inside. Now we can, before I pull it out, got some acetate. Got a pretty decent decal sheet. Bernard Weber is the actual cutter, and that's 1101. Now, what's interesting is Dumas has done a lot of Coast Guard boats, specifically some of the motor lifeboat rescue boats, especially the 36-foot, which was featured in the movie, the most recent Coast Guard movie about the rescue at Station Chatham, which primarily featured the 36-foot motor lifeboat, which ironically was driven by Bernard Weber. So, connection, who knows? Conspiracy theorists can go crazy, but I appreciate the fact that they've done this subject periodically and in full. This is a modern Coast Guard cutter. Some of the previous models that Dumas has put out has been some that are no longer in service. So this one is a recent addition to the Coast Guard, so it will be in service for many, many years, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Instruction booklet. It's pretty, not super robust. This seems like a fairly easy kit. Here's some of the fittings that we're going to see. Some of these are metal. This is pretty much just a giant list of the drawing punch list. So we're going to see a lot of the general. We're talking like, actually has a PVC coating, which I haven't really looked at. It's my first time getting into this kit for the. Yep. Looks like the keel is going to be a layment. So that's what keeps the box size down a little bit. You're going to have to modular build up the keel. That's has happened in several Dumas kits. Dumas is recommending a building board to stand the keel, the frame parts up, which makes sense. You've got some typical straight construction, and this is fairly step by step. Now, what's interesting though is, unlike other Dumas kits, you're going to be using this kind of this PVC plastic instead of planking. And what I like about that is it's going to drastically reduce the weight. If you use typical kits, I did a PT 109 kit, and by the time I was done planking and filling with Bondo and wood putty, it was pretty substantially heavy. So hopefully this PVC, in addition to ditching some of the wood grade issues you have on other model kits, is also going to make the model significantly lighter, which makes it easier for transport for some of you RC guys. I have heard from people who've already started building this kit that the one of the most challenging parts is the mast / antenna array. So leave yourself some time for that. Anyway, I'm not going to go through the entire thing, but you get a good idea that there's some pretty decent stuff in here. Obviously there's the RHI boat small boat that goes in the back of the vessel. Standard wood parts for superstructure items. We've got a crap load of various types of materials. So you can put that up there. Wiring, miscellaneous kind of plastruck PVC parts. You've got a fairly robust set of miscellaneous materials here. I got some rudder parts, 50 cal. You got some swing arms, definitely some inlay for radar patrol operations. It says the 50 cals are in here. You've got a huge, heavy bag of metal parts. This is a really herky bag of stuff. So I look forward to checking out what's in there. Again, good laser cut parts. They're already kind of like popping off the line here. Various materials, and keep in mind they're all various thicknesses. Some of the hulls are obviously thicker than other parts. And these are all super laser cut. This is like, I can literally feel this with my finger, like pop this in and out. Continuing on, let's see. So here is the plastic I was telling you about. Now, keep in mind, this is kind of, I don't think you can zoom in real well. This is for the stand and a few other parts. There we go. That's pretty thick stuff though. This stuff's a little thinner, but look, it's not, I don't know if you can see it. It's closed grain ABS plastic. It's just really lightweight compared to something you might see. Looks like it's pretty sandable too. I mean, I haven't worked with this stuff yet before, so you have several sheets of this. This is clearly some of the forward parts with the chine already pre-cut. So in theory, these sheets should go on pretty readily. There's like 4 or 5 of them. Let me just put this over here. Got some structures. Looks like deck structures. Obviously some more keel plates. Got a lot of brass. Got a lot of, and clearly from the kit itself, you can see a lot of handrails. Pieces there. This clearly looks. This is a really thick piece. I think that's a deck piece. Which, if you look at that, looks like the cutout for the RHI slot, and clearly a bow deck piece. So we got some more. Got just a plethora of stuff in here, which there's some brass. Now the nice thing about this stuff is nothing in here as far as materials, nothing super exotic. Clearly they have a parts list and a punch list that assists you in building the kit based on what you need to complete it, but nothing in this kit, should you break it or misplace it, or your cat or pet eats it, I don't think there's anything in here that's super irreplaceable that should you need to get something to replace it, you couldn't go to your local hobby store and find it quite readily, especially from if it carries Plastruct or anything like that. Even Hobby Lobby and some of the Michaels or whatever craft store you need. Really interesting pieces though, but this is pretty solid by Dumas, and I think people are going to really like this kit. I think you're going to see a lot of these pop up on lakes, and you're going to see more show up at radio control boat shows. I think it's going to be a very popular cutter and a popular boat. It's an interesting subject. I'm going to take a look at the decal sheet real quick, and then I'll call it even on this. So one of the things I did notice about the decal sheet, so some of the things on here, these little ovals or teardrop looking things, they're from the exhaust. So the exhaust comes off the side of the ship. pretty close to the water line, kind of directed. These look like portholes, and these, interesting enough, the ship has a couple of pass-through bull noses, or pass-through slots, lightering holes, whatever you want to call them. If you see this, this is what those are, and I think these are supposed to represent pass-through holes. And as mentioned, those are the exhaust slots. They're painted black because earlier Coast Guard cutters, the exhaust would just come out and just stain the whole back of the ship. So that's the Coast Guard's effort to keep the painting to a minimum, as it were. So anyway, in a pinch, that is the Coast Guard fast response cutter. One of the things you won't find in here, and it's mentioned, obviously it says you need the running hardware. It does not come with propellers that I know of. I think that comes with the running hardware kit. So just be advised, if you are going to build this kit, it's probably not going to come with propellers. But I'm not sure. I haven't gone through the entire metal castings bag yet. But to my knowledge, I don't think propellers was one of the things listed on there. So let me see. It sure doesn't look like it. So anyway, so that's what the boat's going to look like when it's completed. I will tell you on the actual Coast Guard cutter, the chine of the back comes down a lot stiffer and kind of comes straight out. They have obviously made some changes with the skeg supports, although it's not really far off the actual Coast Guard cutter. I think it's for radio control purposes, I think this is pretty good. I think this is as good as they could under the current arrangement to make it easy enough to do radio control for all skill levels. That's my review. I hope this has been helpful, and good luck if you decide to take on this model kit. If I have updates, I will post them as I can. Thank you much, and this has been my review of the U.S. Coast Guard Fast Response Cutter by Dumas.